Millionaire father came home early. What he saw his daughter doing made him cry. Richard Coleman was a man who had everything: money, fame, and success. The world saw him as a powerful millionaire who could buy anything. But what no one knew was how lonely his mansion had become. His wife had passed away years ago, and his only daughter, Lily, had grown distant as he buried himself in work. One evening, after canceling a business trip, Richard came home early, something he hadn't done in years. As he quietly entered the house, expecting to find his daughter asleep or scrolling through her phone, he heard something that made his steps freeze. A soft voice, then a sob. And when he peered into her room, what he saw broke his heart in ways he could never have imagined. That night, the man who had built an empire realized just how poor he truly was. Richard Coleman's mornings always began before dawn and ended long after midnight. His life revolved around meetings, investors, and deadlines. To him, working hard was love, providing his daughter Lily with the best schools, the latest gadgets, and a luxurious life. But Lily never saw it that way. Since her mother's death, the house had turned into a museum of silence. Every corner held memories: her mother's laughter in the kitchen, her perfume lingering in the hallway, but all that was left now were maids, security guards, and an empty dining table. Lily had tried to talk to her father many times. On her 12th birthday, she had waited the whole evening with a cake she baked herself. But Richard never came. There was always one more meeting. That night, she blew out the candles alone. At school, Lily began to hide her sadness behind smiles. Her classmates saw her as the rich girl, but no one saw the little girl who missed her father. Meanwhile, Richard told himself he was doing it all for her. Once she's older, she'll understand. But deep down, he knew he was running away from pain, from guilt, from facing the fact that money couldn't heal loneliness. Until one night, fate gave him a chance to see what he had been missing. It was a rainy Thursday evening when Richard's meeting in another city was unexpectedly canceled. Instead of booking another engagement, something inside him whispered, "Go home." When he arrived, the mansion was quiet. No TV noise, no laughter, just rain tapping on the windows. As he walked upstairs, he noticed Lily's bedroom light still on. He gently opened the door, and what he saw shattered him. Lily was sitting on the floor beside a small box of memories, old family photos, her mom's bracelet, and a drawing she'd made years ago of the three of them together. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered to her mother's picture, "I wish Dad would come home." Not just the house, but home. Richard froze. His chest tightened. The man who commanded boardrooms suddenly couldn't speak a word. He realized that in chasing success, he had lost the one person who needed him most. Quietly, he stepped back, but a floorboard creaked. Lily turned around, startled. "Dad? What are you doing here?" she asked, quickly wiping her tears. Richard's voice broke. I came home early." For a long moment, silence filled the room. Then, without another word, he walked over and hugged her tightly. It was the first time in years he had held his daughter like that. The next morning, the house felt different. For the first time, the smell of breakfast filled the air, not from the chef, but from Richard himself. Lily walked into the kitchen, eyes wide. "You're cooking?" she asked, laughing softly. Richard smiled awkwardly. "Trying to. Your mom used to make pancakes, right? Thought I'd give it a shot." Lily helped him, and for the first time in years, their laughter echoed through the house. The walls that once felt cold began to warm again. Later that day, Richard sat down with Lily and told her everything: his fears, his regrets, how he thought success would protect her. "But I see now," he said, "the greatest success is being the father you need." From that day forward, he changed. He attended her school events, listened to her stories, and made family dinners non-negotiable. Slowly, the bond that had been broken began to heal. Years later, at Lily's graduation, Richard couldn't hold back his tears as she gave her speech. "My dad taught me that love isn't in the things we buy, it's in the time we give." The crowd applauded, but Richard's eyes were only on his daughter. That night, he whispered to the stars, "Thank you for letting me come home early." If this story touched your heart, don't forget to share it with someone who needs a reminder that family time is priceless. Subscribe for more emotional stories that prove love is the true wealth.